Hi everyone, it's Mitch. It's Friday, January 2nd. Three college football bowl games today. Not so sure I like this idea of three games on a Friday when, half the American public has to work, especially when one of them is such an attractive matchup like the Cotton Bowl, that they could have easily stuck that game yesterday and it would have held its own against any of those early games. I mean, the one game we didn't even, I did not tune into and I didn't watch. I still am not quite sure what the score was of that game. But in any event, we'll move on to the Cotton Bowl, and we're going to talk about Ole Miss playing against Texas Tech. The line in this one has been dropping like crazy, but from what I hear, the public is backing Texas Tech. It's not the public I've been talking to. I'd say 80% of the public that I've talked to has taken Ole Miss, acting like this is their big upset that they're picking of the entire bowl season. Um, I don't see it happening. What I saw is that Ole Miss is a team, on the rise. They're a team that got that marquee win that you absolutely need to do. If you're a program and you want to have a defining moment, that turnaround moment, all of the great programs have had that moment that have made these kind of turnarounds. Ole Miss had that moment. They had it at the Swamp this year. They beat the Florida Gators. Well, the next few games they lost right after that, and against teams with winning records. And that's been the theme for Ole Miss, losing to teams with winning records. They beat two teams all season with winning records. One was Florida at the Swamp, which is an epic win as a 25-point underdog. The other win at LSU against a beaten up, kind of done LSU team. Not the LSU team that we saw in the Peach Bowl the other night, the one that I said would win by 20 points. No, the LSU team that I said was banged up, needed the rest, and would be rejuvenated by the Peach Bowl. They played. LSU was not a good team at the end of the season. Even their own fans were surprised at the Peach Bowl performance, but we weren't surprised as we talked about it at length beforehand. In any event, Ole Miss program on the rise. Probably three first rounders on that three first round NFL picks on that defense. Not like late first rounders either. I'm talking about like contributor right away type defenders. But they're playing against a team that's already there. This isn't a team on the rise, Texas Tech. This is a team that's already there. Graham Harrell going to be playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Left out of the Heisman trip to New York. Not even real, kind of off the thing. He had a record-setting year. Michael Crabtree, yeah, he might be a little dinged up at playing at 90%. Michael Crabtree at 90% is better than 100% of all the other wide receivers in college football today. I'm going to go out there and say that. So in any event, I like Texas Tech in this one. I think they score a lot of points. I think their defense, gives up plenty of points, but probably, not enough that I think they cover this spread, and I like them. In any event, we'll move on to the next game, and that's the Liberty Bowl. Kentucky playing against East Carolina. Not going to spend a lot of time talking about this one because we got another 5-win team against Division I teams playing in a bowl game. And what have they all been this bowl season? Losers. So that's Kentucky that only has the 5 wins against Division I teams. We're going to take East Carolina because East Carolina started off with the two marquee wins, Virginia Tech and West Virginia, both bowl winners. Won their next game, lost their next 3, kind of fell off the map as far as the public goes. Hey, these guys won 6 of their last 7 games, and they did it playing some very nice football. So I like the way East Carolina is coming in. Kentucky, I talk about teams that lost a lot of players, coming into the season due to graduation. Kentucky was one of those teams. The bowls, the time off between the bowls heals a lot of those injuries. We saw that with LSU the other night. We've seen it with a couple of the other teams. But it didn't help Kentucky out because Derek Locke is not playing in this one. We're on East Carolina. I really like him in this one. I don't want to spend any more time on it because of that whole 5-win thing, and you guys know where that's going. So we'll move on to the Sugar Bowl. Alabama playing against Utah. Utah, the Utes. A couple of Utes. I don't think the couple of Utes are in for any luck tonight. I think they're in for a really hard time. I know Alabama has the huge suspension on the offensive line with Smith being suspended for this game. So Coffey's probably not going to have those running holes that we've seen him all season. John Parker Wilson might not have as much time when he wants to throw the ball. I don't think Utah's going to have much luck moving the ball at all against that Alabama defense. I'm going to say that Alabama, their defense, has the best player in the entire game of college football this season, and that's Terrence Cody. While quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs get all of the they get all the awards, they get all the accolades. Terrence Cody has been the single biggest difference maker in the entire game of college football this season. He's the player that has turned that Alabama program from an also-ran, from a team on the rise to a national championship contender. When you have a defensive tackle that takes up 2, 3 blockers, it allows the linebackers to run free, make tackles, improves your entire defense. Field position changes. Your whole team changes. That's why when the NFL draft comes around, big defensive tackles always going very early in the draft. Quarterbacks, oh, I can't believe this guy's dropped so far. That's what you always hear, and you hear it every year. And Terrence Cody, you're the best player in college football. I've been critical of Alabama. I've been critical of their coach, Nick Saban. I've been critical of John Parker Wilson. I've called Alabama winners. I called them to lose that SEC title game. But I'll tell you what, Terrence Cody, you are the best player in America. I love the Crimson Tide tonight. I think they take out Utah, and I think they do it no problem. And I think their fans are, they're going to be going bananas. But we'll deal with it because we're going to be on their side for this one. So this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the chat room. I'll see you in the forum.